Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Tonight's cook with me is going to be breakfast. Yep, I'm making breakfast at night because I want it for tomorrow morning and the next morning. So might as well get it done tonight because I'm not going to have time in the morning because it needs to set a little before we throw it in the oven. So we are going to be making very berry French toast casserole. If you watch my channel and you watch Kim over to Girl on Her Phone, we've been going back and forth a little bit with some French toast casseroles. She started it back in the fall with Pound Droppers pumpkin spice French toast casserole. Then I followed up with a chai spiced French toast casserole. She answered back a couple weeks ago with an apple pie French toast casserole. Now it's my turn, and I decided to make a very berry casserole, French toast casserole. So that's what I'm gonna make for you tonight. I've never made it before. I'm flying by the seat of my pants. You know that's what I do, so fingers crossed, and let's hope it turns out. First thing we need to do is get the berry compote made, so let's go over to the stove and do that. To start the berry compote, the first thing we're gonna do is take a medium saucepan, add 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, three tablespoons of 0-calorie sweetener. This is the Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. You can use Swerve, you can use whatever you want. If you use the little packets, use about 3 of them. So 3 tablespoons of that. And we're just gonna whisk that together. You really need to get that cornstarch. The cornstarch turns into like paste, so you need to really get that going. And to that, we're going to add 3 cups of assorted berries. I have strawberries, raspberries, and blueberries. I have the raspberries and the strawberries cut into chunks. We're gonna put that over a medium heat. Give it a nice stir to get the sugar and the cornstarch coating the berries. Then I like to use a potato masher and mash it down a bit just to release the juices of the berries. Get some more liquid for it to cook. And then we're going to let that cook over a medium-high heat, stirring it occasionally until it gets nice and clear and thick. See how it's a little bit cloudy now? That'll turn, when I say clear, I don't mean clear like transparent. I mean clear like shiny, not so creamy looking. You want to leave some chunks. You don't want it completely smooth. So we are just going to let that come to a boil, reduce it a little bit, and let it cook probably about 5 to 7 minutes. And just keep an eye on it that it doesn't burn. So there you go. You see how nice and thick it is. And see what I mean by clear? It's more of a shiny, transparent than cloudy. So now all I'm going to do is throw in some lemon zest, about 2 teaspoons, and about 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice, just to give it a little bit of burst of citrus, little acidity, little freshness. And then I'm going to turn this off and let it cool and thicken while we get started on the French toast. Okay, moving on to the French toast while the fruit is cooling. In this dish, it's sprayed with nonstick spray. It's a 9 by 13. I have 12 slices of 1 point bread. This happens to be the Aldi Fit and Active multigrain bread, cubed, 12 slices cubed in the dish. We'll set that aside. And in this bowl, I have 8 eggs, which I've beaten. And to that, we're going to add 2 cups of 1% milk. Beat that up. And then we're going to add a 1/2 cup of sugar substitute, whatever it is you like. This happens to be the monk fruit again. You can use Swerve, you can use stevia, you can use Splenda. Just watch the Splenda because I think that has points after a certain amount. And then we are going to add some cinnamon. Let me grab a measuring spoon. A tablespoon of cinnamon. Then about a teaspoon of nutmeg. I honestly don't measure because I grate fresh. And I just grate it until it looks good, and I love nutmeg, so. But if you're using already ground nutmeg, use about a teaspoon. Mix that up. Cinnamon's a pain in the neck to mix in. I've tried doing it with the eggs, before the milk, and it's a pain in the butt no matter when you do it. So if anyone has a good tip on the cinnamon, please leave it in the comments below because I would love to hear it. And then we're going to add in vanilla, which I forgot to get out. About 2 teaspoons. Okay. Maybe I should do the cinnamon like when I make hot chocolate. I make a paste out of the cocoa and like a tablespoon or 2 of milk. Maybe that would work. Okay, then we're just going to take the egg mixture and just pour it evenly over all the bread. And I like to kind of poke it all around, make sure it's covered. Make sure all the bread is soaked with the egg. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the fridge for about a half an hour because I want it to set up a little bit. And then we're gonna take it out and we're gonna put the berry compote on top and swirl it in a little bit. I don't wanna do it now because I want this to thicken up a little bit and soak in and give a better base to put the berries because I don't want them to all sink to the bottom. So we're just gonna cover this and refrigerate it for a half an hour. Okay, I took this out of the oven, or out of the refrigerator. It's been in there a half hour. You can see it's set up a little bit. And then I have the berries. I put those, I wanted to chill them quickly, so I put them in the freezer. And I did taste them and thought they were a little bit tart. Now granted, they're not in season, that's probably why. So I added another tablespoon of the monk fruit to them just to sweeten them a little bit more, because I do have a sweet tooth. So now what I'm gonna do is put the berries right on top of the French toast. I don't want them to sit completely on top, but I also don't want them to sink to the bottom. So I'm gonna spread them out. Then I'm gonna just take my spoon and kind of just I don't know, play with them. I don't know how to mix them in a little bit, but not mix them in. I want most of them on top, but I definitely want some in with the bread. So just kind of spoon them around. This looks really good. And then I'm gonna put it back in the fridge for another half hour. And at that point, you can either leave it in the fridge overnight and then bake it in the morning when you're ready to use it. Or after the extra half hour in the fridge, you can bake it right then, which is what I'm gonna do. That way it'll be all ready in the morning. Actually, it'll be all ready tonight. I can put it in the meal prep containers and everybody will have it ready in the morning. So there it is with the berries. And then I'm just gonna take 2 tablespoons of light butter, it's 28 grams, and just kind of dot the top. Just give it a little bit of extra richness and butteriness. And cover it, like I said, and put it back in the fridge. And then your choice from there. So I am going to wait the half hour. I'm going to pop it in a 375-degree oven for about 35-40 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to cover it for the first 20 minutes, then uncover it for the last 15 minutes. And when it comes out of the oven, I will show you what it looks like. So here it is out of the oven. Very berry French toast casserole. You can see the little corners missing, and that's because we tasted it, and it is delicious. We really think it's going to be good for breakfast tomorrow. What you need to do is cut it into 6 servings, which will be very generous size servings. And it is 4 points on blue, 4 points on purple, and 8 points on the green plan. So there you have it. Very berry French toast casserole. So there you have it. It looks good, it tastes good, and now it is very late, and I am going to cut this, put it in the meal prep containers, and go to bed and enjoy it in the morning. So now, Kim, ball's in your court. It's your turn in the next couple weeks to make our next flavor of French toast casserole. Hope you liked this recipe. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Share this video if you know anyone that would like it. Don't forget, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell and you will know every time I upload. And that's all I have for you tonight. Have a great night, everyone, and I will see you soon.